Welcome to Home, Space and Reason, a podcast about creating a home that thrives.
Hi there, I'm Christina Browning, your host. If you know your home could be so much more than it is, I discuss home functionality, aesthetics, and automation. I'm a realtor in Portland, Oregon, and a home functionality coach. I geek out on every subject imaginable regarding your home and yard, challenging you to think of your space differently to get the most out of every square foot. I pose questions for you to think through about your space and your reason. This podcast is all positive, offering you virtual fist bumps and celebrating every win. Remember, there's no such thing as perfect, but you can still aim for your best every day. Join me on social media by searching for the handle Space and Reason. Today, I'm going to go a little bit more off the cuff than is usual. I am working with a company who wants to be known for food and fun. In their building, when I walk in, I can't see any indication of food emphasis or any fun happening. And this made me think about homes and our spaces everywhere. If you want your values and what is important to you to shine through, think about how that translates to the color on your walls, the choices in your furniture, and what things are easily accessible. If there are no fun colors anywhere, if there's nothing obvious to do out in front of people, how might fun be translated? Answer: it won't. So then I started thinking about how that translates into our own homes. If it is important to me to be active, how accessible are the things that I want to do which encourage me to be active? Is my bike easy to get down? Do I have enough space for it? Where are my workout clothes? Where is my workout bottle? Am I adding workout time into my calendar? It's kind of like functionality for our priorities. All these things are important to think about when thinking of our own brand. Now, I know brand is typically a corporate word, but in this case, it really does apply to our homes as well. I thought it was fascinating that food and fun is what this company wanted to communicate, and the poor salesperson was trying their best to sell food and fun, but it kind of wasn't believable when you looked around. Unless there was an event happening right at that moment when their tour was happening, it wasn't even believable. So if you tell me your values are family and together time and gathering, maybe hosting, have you set your space up to accommodate this? Maybe your word is Zen, and the most chaotic time in your home is the mornings. Before school, maybe your kids are usually super chaotic and rushing out the door, and your mornings are a mess. If your priority is having quality time together, could you rethink your mornings so that you have a more calm exodus before your workday? What feels chaotic? What feels off-brand for you? And then write down your own questions and think about why. Here's something I find interesting. When I pose a question to myself, even if I don't know the answer, my subconscious seems to work on it. For days and days, sometimes when I'm sleeping, I'll wake up and I know the exact answer of the thing my mind was chewing on for a while. Some people have these epiphanies in the shower, but I think the most important thing, no matter who you are or where you are, is to write the question down, acknowledge it, and then let your mind work on it. Don't rush, but if your brand is healthy, active, for example, is everything set up to keep your family healthy and active? Is it easy to cook healthy foods in your kitchen? In episode 40, titled Creating Spaces for Movement and Habits for Health with special guest Nicole Darabi, we spoke about this very thing. It is important to her to be healthy and to make sure her body is fed well. We spent time in this episode making sure that the spaces in our homes are set up for movement, and creating habits for health don't come without addressing what you're doing in your home. I'm going to put a link in the show notes if this episode interests you. But this is a prime example of how whatever your brand is, whatever you stand for, whatever values is important to your family, how are those being translated within the walls of your home? And I think as we draw closer to the new year, it's important that we consider these things and think about each space and really weigh our decisions. Is it time to swap out the big couch that absolutely swallows you up for 10 hours at a time for something that maybe is less comfortable so that you want to get up and you want to go move? Something that encourages you to be active. Or maybe your goal is to spend more time with your aging parent, and because there's a decline in mobility, there is no chair they can sit in and easily get back up from. And so maybe you need to swap chairs, buy something different, create a space they can comfortably sit and visit without being embarrassed and horrified that they maybe can't get up very easily anymore. These are the sorts of interesting things that's fun to chew on as we evaluate our space and think about how our homes are functioning for us and our families. And now, folks, let's do some questions to ask yourself about your space and your reason. Grab a piece of paper and a pen. Here we go. Question number 1. When thinking about the next 12 months, no matter when you listen to this, what is important to me? How are we filling those months? What one word might sum up what I would like to focus on? And then let's assess how our home is set up to support that. Let's talk for a second about the power of a single word. It's a simple, flexible way to bring focus and direction to your life. Melinda Gates, we all know who that is, co-founder of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, has also mentioned that she chooses a word each year to guide her actions and thoughts instead of making a New Year's resolution. I think this is so powerful. It could also be thought of as your family or your individual brand for the year. And another way to think the same thought is, how is this reflected in my home? Am I supporting myself and my own goals with the way our home is set up? Unlike resolutions, which can be rigid and difficult to adhere to for the long haul, a word of the year allows for flexibility and adaptation as the year progresses. When thinking about your word of the year, you can reflect on the past year. What were my successes, my challenges, or maybe my areas for growth? You can identify key values and intentions, like what are the qualities or themes you want to embody or cultivate in the coming year. Brainstorm potential words by thinking about words that resonate with your intentions and goals. Choose a word that resonates deeply, something that feels meaningful or maybe it inspires you. And integrate the word into your life. Use it as a guide for decision making and reflect on it regularly. If you know someone in the market to buy or sell in the greater Metro Portland, Oregon area, kindly send them my way. The finest compliment I can receive is the confidence of your referral. Thanks, friends, for spending a few moments with me today. I can't wait to hear about what your word of the year is. Growth, joy, balance, courage, gratitude. No matter what it is, let's set ourselves up for success.